the kitty cat. So Kitty Tinkers was going to go surprisingly take a relief in a certain area. And I'm like, no. And I said, I caught you. Don't you dare. So I said, let me go check your litter box. So I had to go hurry up and clean the litter box, which is a whole ordeal for me because I have to mask up and do all this stuff to go and clean it. So I went ahead and took care of that. And I told her, I said, do not go over in that corner. Doing your business. It's cleaned out. So she gives me that Maine Coon look. She's so beautiful the way she does that. That lion cat look. Like, listen here, human. I know where I'm going to go do my business. But because you caught me, I won't do it there. I'll pick another spot. So I'll be like, oh, God. So hopefully, hold on. Okay. She's still under the table looking at me all funny faced. All right, fine. So I'm on day 2 of the heavy metal detox. Oh, Lord have mercy. We got lots to talk about. It's going to be funny. It's going to be one of those funny moments. Okay, so I'm on day 2, and it's this one I'm doing. Cilantro heavy metal detox. It works like a charm. So here's the deal with it. I'm not a doctor, not prescribed, I'm not doing any of that. So anyway, the this I'm doing it. So I mix it in our organic apple juice, aloe vera, okay, and I put it in there, and then I take, it's like half apple juice, it's like apple juice, aloe vera, and then water, okay, mostly water added into the apple juice. But the apple juice, from my teachings, what I've learned, is the purger for the liver, the gallbladder, and it just kind of helps move things forward. So I just said, well, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and add the cilantro detox to it. So you do that, you drink it before you get into your shower. Then you go take your shower, and then you're stirring up the cells, okay? Getting hot. Then you turn it to cold. Then you're setting yourself. All right. So now it's activated. So if you see me just sweating, I'm just detoxing. This is day 2. And like I said, it works really well. So I like this one. I think I'm going to get another bottle of it because I really like it. So let's just jump into the Kent of the day before we get into our talk. It's Kin 185, and it is the red electric serpent. So this is the one where it's universal of water. It's connected to your water. Hence the word, when you are doing a heavy metal detox, heavy metals can be removed through your feces, through your urine, but it's mainly removed through sweating. When you sweat, that's how you really get those heavy metals out, is when you're sweating. So if you've been finding yourself sweating at nighttime, sweating after you just go outside and you're in the sun and all of a sudden you break out into a sweat, that's a part of that that detoxing. Hey, lovely. So just know that's how you do a heavy metal detox. You want to sweat. So if you're going to sweat, you're going to make a bath with that baking soda. You're going to do a ginger, light on the cinnamon. Don't get crazy with the cinnamon. Light on the cinnamon, but ginger, cinnamon, lemon, all of these two with geranium, okay, rose geranium, mix that into jojoba oil or sesame oil. Sesame is better because it's going to cause an extraction. This is Ayurvedic. So when you mix those oils into your bottle, pick and choose how many drops you want to do it, but be light, like I said, on the cinnamon. Don't get crazy with the cinnamon because it can become an irritant. So if you're doing, say, like 8 drops of geranium, you want to add some bergamot, put some bergamot in, then do 6 drops of bergamot. Do at least 9 drops to 10 drops of ginger, because the ginger is the oil that's going to get the circulation going. Now, if you really want to push the envelope, you'll add a few drops of black pepper oil and put that in there. And then you add 2 to 3 drops of cinnamon. Like I said, don't get crazy with it. Then you can add 4 to 5 drops of clove. Okay, so you should have like an 8-ounce size bottle of oil, or 4-ounce size, depending on how much oil you want to use, and go to town on the body. Load up on the legs, load up on the belly, load up around the neck, around the shoulders, load up on the buttocks area, the hips, the thighs. Load that oil up, arms, all underneath the arms, around the breast area. You want to hit that lymphatic system. And you just want to just go at it. What you're doing, you're stirring up the heat. The ginger, the clove, and the cinnamon is going to heat you up. And then it's going to say, hey, let's go to the lymphatic area. Yay! Now everybody will go rushing down to the lymphatic area. And the lymphatic area will be like, what's going on? Why am I feeling like I have to purge? So the lymphatic system will start purging, because the lymphatic system, you have to move in order for your lymphatic system to flush. And it doesn't flush on it. It has a one-way valve. So your muscles contracting and moving, friction, all that helps the lymphatic system to move. That's why massage is so good for the body, when you have to get that lymphatic system moving. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, we're talking about water. And what affects us more than anything is when we are dealing with high intakes of plasmic light. So when we get that plasmic light coming in, that stirs up all of this energy of what's stuck in the body, what needs to come out, what needs to be released. And it stirs up. When we talk about water, we're talking about what's the emotion behind the water. What's the emotion about what's coming up behind that? Okay, so you're really gonna stir that up. So if you're doing a bath, you're gonna have your bath water, have your baking soda in there. Do like a cup baking soda into your bath water. Get that all in there. Pour a straight line down that bathtub. Then you're going to put in your magnesium flakes, magnesium chloride. Okay, that's the one that gets absorbed. The other one, sulfate, doesn't get absorbed as good by the body like it should. But the chloride one is because that's that more natural intake mixture of that water with that magnesium. So then you put your flakes in, you dump your flakes in after you draw your water, and you're getting ready to get in the tub after you have oiled up. Then after you oiled up, get into the water, pour your magnesium flakes in there, then calling your directions, your 4 directions, because you want to create a safe space when you're sitting in the tub, because tub is what? It's a portal. So this is where you want to get your mind clear. You want to reset your nervous system. You want to have communion with Source Divine, which is you and your higher self and Divine Source, through the water portal. You came through a water portal to get here. You got to use it to do your communication and to bring things in. Hello, beep, beep. So Once you're in the water and you got this loaded up, then you can drink before or during the tub, drinking your mixture to start purging your heavy metals. This is something I like to do because I'm not a heavy pill swallowing person. I don't like to have to swallow pills because it's not my thing. But if it's in a liquid or it can dissolve or it can be chewed, I'm down with that. So your activating of this purging gets that going, okay? Gets that moving out. Now, those of you that have taken my pyramid course and the detox program, you know what frequency you're going to be using for that. And you know you're going to use that 999, 999, 999 on your glass to help really start pushing your lymphatic system. When that plasma light and the Schumann resonance is hitting, it sends a charge through our system. It hits the nervous system, it goes into the bones, it hits every one of the vertebrae, the atlas, the signals here. It's going to hit all of that. When it hits that, everything that is plasma in the body itself, all the cells, cytoplasma, plasma, anything with that plasma is going to get hit with that energy. It has two responses. It's either going to move or it's going to get stuck. Okay? So depends on what your body is going through emotionally, stress, if you've been ill, if you've had a lot of things where you've been sedentary, if you've had injuries, yes, please. If you've had things happening, your body is going to be moving that slowly. So you got to help it along when you're doing that heavy metal detox. Now, there's lots of other products out there. I can't vet for those products because I've never taken them, and I'm very cautious on certain products that come out and where they're coming from. I'm very cautious on that because I want to make sure I'm taking something that's going to be aligned with my body purging things out. My purging right now is purging out steroids, purging out prednisone, any prednisone that's gotten hung up in my fat cells. That particular type of med, when it's given, it works great for the immediate thing, but then there's the after effects. And the after effects, it blows you up, it stirs up your blood sugar, it can wreak havoc with your pancreas, your liver, your adrenal glands. It can do all of that, depending on how long you're on it. But some people are more sensitive than others. So lucky enough, I have good doctors that know, hey, no, we got to make an adjustment. We can't give you this much. We can do this. And then they watch. Okay, we gave you this 6 months ago. How are you feeling now? Okay, we probably can bypass it. We probably don't have to do any more maintenance. So when we're purging metals like that, that's going to come out through your sweat, through your urine. That's going to come out. Now, when we're talking about if you're someone that eats meat, and there's no knocking anyone that eats meat. There's certain healers. We're all healers. I'm going to come back and reclaim that word healer. Yes, healer. So when you do healing work, that meat, some of us have to eat that meat because meat in itself, depending on what you're eating in its leanness and taking in the essence of that, is helping you to ground. It's helping you to repair your body when you do that. Okay? This is why I say some people can live the life of being a vegetarian and being a vegan, and others have to have a little meat because their body requires it, depending on their blood, requires it. Trust me. I ended up in a hospital twice off of not doing the right type of things for my body, and I was going vegetarian and doing vegan. Yeah, no. And that doctor straight up told me, I need you to go home. And I need you to get a steak, good piece. I need you to cook it up in the pan. Throw a little bit of garlic in there. Saute some onions, mushrooms if you want to. I want you to have it medium rare, and I want you to sit there and eat that steak. You don't need a big piece. Just the size of your hand. That'll be good enough. Eat that steak, please. and then I want to see you in 2 weeks. I ate that steak. I felt like $1 million after I ate it. So then I'm thinking, okay, there's something to this. I even had somebody come up to me once and say, oh, you can't be a healer. You can't be blah, blah, blah if you're eating meat, if you're eating another animal, and da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, I like to see you say that to a lot of indigenous people on different countries that are shamans and healers, and part of their culture is meat. But they can heal the hell out of people. So, yeah, let's look at that. So, everybody's different. When we're talking about water, purging certain heavy parts of our emotional waters, this is how we're doing it. So, you don't want to do like a liquid of cilantro, then you're going to be eating cilantro and chlorella. It comes in liquid or tablet forms. Then you can do that. I like the convenience that it's already mixed and it had the word heavy metals on it. So it was like, yeah, but you don't, it was kind of interesting. The lady was telling me, she said, yeah, you do 1 dropper or 2 droppers of it, and that's it. Don't get crazy with it because it really does help the body purge those metals. Hey, how do you get rid of karmic family members that have been parasitic and vampires? Can I use this because they're hovering in my energy to siphon? Okay. Interesting today is the red electric serpent, the Kin 185. I activate in order to survive bonding instincts. I seal the store of life force. With the electric tone of service, I am guided by the power of universal waters. I am polar kin. I establish this red galactic spectrum. Okay, today begins the 65-day of the serpent season of life force, red galactic spectrum. So in this galactic life force, that explains why I was having that vision of off and on serpent. Okay, that explains that. We are in that serpent energy. Serpent. Serpent is flowing, serpent is moving, water. When you're talking about vampire things, we're going to jump into that today. The color red, Maldak is the planet, the chakra is the crown, earth family is polar, and we do have a rune. By recognizing the individual's life is the basic operating unit of the life of cosmos, then we can raise our sights to collective transcendence and cosmic unification. Hyper, neutron, subliminal telepathy. This is the 6th mental sphere of consciousness, as well as the 6th and dimensional limit force field. So everything's going to be around this side of the head. Gate 402. So I'm going to tell you something about family stuff. Wow, damn, I just opened up right to the page. That's scary. Okay. I'm like, wait, I just opened right up to the page. Okay, so here's the rune. Opening fire torch. This rune is opening and renewing clarity of dispelling the darkness that has been shrouding some part of your life. Let me repeat that. This symbol, Kanos. This rune is the rune of opening and renewed clarity of dispelling the darkness that has been shrouding some part of your life. You are free now both to receive gifts and to know the joy of non-attached giving. Kunos is the rune for morning of activities, for seriousness, clear intent, and concentration, all of the which are the essential at the beginning of the endeavor. One of the 13 cycles of the runes, the protection offered by Kunos is this. The more light you have, the better you can see what is trivial and outmolded in your own conditioning. In relationships, there can now be mutual opening up, which you may trigger and set in motion through your awareness that the light of understanding is once again available to you both. So here's the thing. With this energy that we're in and those eclipses we had, this is all about, in the year that we're in, collectively, the number 9. This is all about getting rid of karmic energy, rather it be with people that you know before, if it's with family, things like that. When it comes to family, depending on, now here's the thing, a lot of people, you have to remember, when you are dealing with karma in the family, families sign up to interact at karmic contracts with each other every life cycle. So if someone has a kid, that's karma automatically, because that child is going to come back and switch roles and maybe play the parent, or maybe play the mom, maybe play the dad, depending. Now you have another child that comes in. So now that child is a part of the whole karmic cycle. Families run karmic cycles with each other until someone comes in and says, we're done. We're not doing this. When you leave yourself open to be drained or pulled or siphoned off of, especially by family, it's usually because there's some unfinished business or something that happened in the past life, why that family member attacks you, why that family member goes after you. It doesn't matter if it's the mother, the father, it doesn't matter if it's sister, brother, grandmother, grandfather, it does not matter. Uncle, aunts, all of that, cousins, that's all bloodline, okay? Unfinished business. Everyone switches parts and plays roles in the whole cycle of it until someone comes and says, enough is enough. And they cut that cycle. They break it. And the ones that usually cut that cycle, this is going to get kind of weird for some of you, are the ones that come in, they have no children. They try to have kids, but they can't have kids because they already made a contract agreement that they're not going to have children in this lifetime. So that cycle energy of repeating it stops with you. Okay, in this lifetime, I didn't come back to have kids. I had a miscarriage in 1993. It's funny how I can remember that, because it was one of the most painful days I've ever had in my life, of when that child was exiting and I didn't know I was carrying until it was leaving. So when you come in and you don't have the child, you're cleaning house. The only reason when you become siphoned off of is because you don't have boundaries. When you don't set boundaries and you keep falling for the same stuff, the same lines, the same manipulation, the same, you just don't care about me. You don't come over. What are you going to do? I need help with this. I need you to give me money for this and da-da-da-da-da. And how come you don't have it? When you don't have boundaries and you fall for it and you keep giving into the behaviors of the ones that pull your energy, it's because you didn't master your boundaries. So we got to really be on that light side and look at things. When we say vampire energy, siphoning off of you, pulling that in, what part of the energy are they pulling on? Is it an emotional energy? 9 times out of 10, it's an emotional energy. Okay? It's an emotional energy that they're doing it on. Okay? So I want you to really think about that on, hold on a second. If there's an echo, that's because there's somebody here that's witnessing what I'm saying. Okay. There's an echo, it's because somebody's here witnessing what I'm saying. So when you are moving into that energy, I forgot about this. I'm just going to do this. When you're moving into that energy and you're looking at your boundary, first of all, cut the cord. Say, you don't have no permission to be draining my energy. Thank you very much. Cut the cord. Okay? I don't care who it is. Mother, father, I don't care. Cut the cord. Follow the cord. If it shows up who it is, as soon as you cut the cord, that person will call you within, say, the first 12 hours. First 12 to 24 hours. Talking about, hi, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. Have you ever noticed that when you go and do cord cutting things and you cut the cords and then all of a sudden the person that you cut the cords with come calling you? They're not getting their source anymore. You just cut them off. So basically, for all of us, it's all about healthy boundaries. It's all about really learning how to not allow yourself to be siphoned off of. It goes for anyone who is healing, doing healing work, Reiki energy, massage energy, a counselor. Ooh, being a counselor, you're listening to people every day talk about their emotional stuff, their unhappiness, their fakery. They're faking themselves out to get through this world. Okay, they're faking themselves out. So when you are looking at that and you're saying to yourself, how can I cut that energy? You're going to do it by giving yourself permission to release the cords and also setting boundaries and saying, you do not have the rights to come into my energy and ciphering any energy off of me. Okay, you want to cipher something? Send their cord to the sun. Send their cord to the moon. Send it out there. Send it to that sun. That sun's got plenty of energy for them to siphon off of. See the person, see the cord. Oh, sorry. Sun. There you go. Feed off of that. Visualize their cord going to that sun. See a big sun disk in front of you, and now it hits the sun and it goes straight into the sun. I'm a queen of that. I'll send anybody's cord straight to the sun. Straight to the sun. I am not your battery. You don't get to feed off of me. You don't get to pull energy off of me to work with your magic and to work with your stuff. No, you don't get to. A lot of people don't get this. Sometimes you might tap into the wrong person's energy and might get yourself screwed up because you didn't tap in to somebody you shouldn't have been tapping into. So, but when we're dealing with family and hovering energy, you have to set boundaries. Now, if you are living at home with an individual, say like you're caretaking now, okay, you got to have boundaries. You really do. If you say, look, I'm going to go into my space, I'm going to go take a bath, I'm going to go relax, don't bother me. I'm not taking any calls. I'm not a part of any drama that you decide to create. Right now, we're in this timeline of everybody needs to be held accountable for their own stuff. What are you cultivating? What are you manifesting? What are you bringing in? So when you're bringing that stuff in, it's all about, hey, what's the boundaries? What's the boundaries I got to set up in here? Okay. So I hope I answered that because of hovering in my energy. This is where you got to do those medicine baths. If you're not, this, let me just put it like this. If you're on this path and you're doing medicine work, you know the 411. You know you're supposed to go do your cleansings. You know you're supposed to keep yourself energetically cleansed. Period. If you go to someone's house and they're negative Nancy, you know you're going to have to smudge yourself when you leave there. Period. That's how this rolls. And now, with everything being heightened up, you're going to have people flipping the hell out on simple past stuff. I remember when I did this and you did this and you didn't say anything. What the hell are you talking about? What was obvious? Well, it was in 2008. What the fuck happened in 2008? I could barely keep up in 2025. And then you're standing there looking at them because they are choosing to go to the past. They are choosing to loop their ass into an emotional water pass memory. That doesn't mean you have to participate in it. And I'm the queen of, I'm sorry, I don't have time for your drama. I don't have time for that. There is a lady, and I'm going to drive this home with this. I love her. And I like how she sings the song. She's Queen. Hold on. Let's see if I can pull up this. Hold on. Sometimes she don't pop up. She says a song. And I like how she, here it is. Queen Herbie. She was back in the day when she was her original artist self. I forgot what her original artist was, but she got out of the music industry because of where it was going, and she left it. So it's QVENHERBY, Qherby. Okay, she put a song out. Hold on. And this will tell you right here. And I love this song. Matter of fact, this song was kind of like in my mind. Let me see. Chakra song. She's on YouTube. Okay, Marie Antoinette, Thank Goddess. I like that song, Thank Goddess. Thank Goddess. Dress code 5D. That's it. Now this is chakra one. Hold on. Might have been 5D. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to type in. Hold on. You're going to see exactly how she put this together. And I want the lyrics. Okay. I want you to listen to these words. I'm going to turn the sound off so I do that thing that they talk about, violation of something. Okay. So this song is called Chakras. And it's right on point what she's talking about. She says, danger coming at me, bitch. I see it all the time. Better fix your vibe if you want to be in my life. No one can fuck with me when my chakras are aligned. I protect my energy because, bitch, I gotta shine. Okay? Something's feeling off each time you come around, like, oh my, something died and it just can't be found. Tell me what's good would it be to anyone with no boundaries? Trust me when I need to lock it down, I need it. Friends that you keep, respect you deep, suck like a leech, not the right behavior. I'm sorry, love. You're breaking up. I've heard enough. I have to catch you later. Love this song. Danger coming at me, bitch. I see it all the time. Better fix your vibe if you want to be in my life. No one fucks with me when my chakras are aligned. I protect my energy because, bitch, I gotta shine. So she's talking about those friends that like to come over and drain her. Get it right. Do it right thing, baby. Get it right. Fix your whole vibe. I don't want to fight. No, you mean well. Take a fight. It falls hard, but I had to let you go. Said I'm no friend. You have never been so right before. Hope don't move all that someone else don't do without taking time to love of that mental health. Aha. Friends that you keep, respect you deep, suck like a leech, not the right behavior. I'm sorry, love, you're breaking up. I've heard enough. I have to catch you later. I could say it. Get it right, do it thing right, get it right, fix your whole vibe. I don't want to fight. No, you mean well, take a five, take a five. Get it right, do the right thing, get it right, fix your whole vibe. I don't want to fight. No, you mean well, baby, take a fight, get it right. Love that song. And it's all about you got to change your vibe. Don't want to fight. So we can choose to fight with people just because they want to start a fight with you, but you don't have to if you have your boundaries. And in this day and time with all the stuff that's going on, this is why we do what we do at night. Like what I was talking about last night when we were talking about the salt bowl. And I said, take the water out. Because I found the difference when you take the water out of the bowl and you just put plain old salt in the bowl, halfway filled up. Then you put your herbs in, dry herbs, protection herbs, whatever you want to put in there. You put your oils in there, whatever you want the oils to be, but camphor's got to be the number one thing you put in there. Put that camphor in there, stir it all in there with intention. You're creating a salt bowl of emanating energy that's going to be all about diffusing anything around you, getting rid of distortion energy, pulling energy off of you. Yeah, her whole songs and everything on Queen Harvey, she drops it. I call her the female version of Eminem because she takes and she puts the music on our level. She talks on our level. I mean, come on, she talks about patchouli and orange put together in a bath, tarot cards and da 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 da, your crystals. She takes that and blends it all into this music that is like boom. And I love the song Thank Goddess. Thank Goddess. Dun, 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 dun. Thank Goddess. So I'll load a couple of her songs into the post. So those, when you need to kind of get that rhythm and remind you, you don't want to be siphoned off of, don't be siphoned off of. And that even goes for your jobs. When you're working with people that you know for a fact are coming in and they're pulling on your energy. Okay? There are just some people, and I learned this, when you go and you meet up with people you haven't seen in a while, and it's a function, everyone's meeting up, and if they know what you represent and how you walk in your life, and they know you got a lot of light, everybody comes like a moth to the fire. They want to hang out with you. They want to be there with you. And that's fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, you got to go take care of yourself after you meet up with everyone. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to say it like it is. There are people that'll be around you, but they are going through some shit. And they don't want you to know what they're going through. But they don't mind hanging out with you because they love your energy. They love the fact that you just keep going. They love that energy. They love the fact that you can just drop stuff out of there. They love that energy. You want to know why? Because they don't give themselves the same credit. That's why. They run out of energy way too fast. They're tired, and they want to come and sit in yours and get rejuvenated because they like your energy. And when I find a person that's doing that and how they start sliding around and setting up times and wanting to hang out with me to do that, no, I have boundaries. I have boundaries even when I come on here. Things that I say after I'm done with a video, boom, there's certain things I say. Everybody needs to stay in their own space. I'm not your battery. Period. I'm not consenting to any of your stuff. That stays with you. That's your stuff. Level the hell up. Stop looking for ciphering off of other people. That's how I look at it. And I don't have a problem when I'm staying in my boundaries. I don't have a problem with saying this to anybody that is adulthood parents to me. I have no problems. I have to have boundaries. I don't fall for the guilt line. I don't fall for that. Well, if you love me, you'd be here. You just seems like you don't care. Oh. Because in this part of the war that we're going through, the spiritual war, the very people that you think you can trust that should love you the most and have your back don't have your back. They don't have it. You know? So it's painful to say it, but it has to be said because it's so true to itself. A lot of us walk around feeling guilty if you don't jump when loved ones want you to or play the game. You don't play the game. I like this one. You're different now. You're not the same like you used to be. Okay, the reason why you're saying that is because that person before was always jumping up and doing it. And, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. I'll come over and do it. Okay, I'll do it. You know. But now it's like, I'm sorry, that's not going to work out for me. I got other obligations and appointments I have to maintain and be at. But thank you so much for the invite. What's wrong with you? And it's even worse now. I hate to say this, but all of you that are in here and Be So Light. Be So Light stands for this. Be your soul light. It stands exactly for that. So now this is the place where you you have your own frequency that you're hanging out with yourself. And they can't hang out with you. They can't be on your frequency. So what they want to do is pull you down to their drama. I'll never forget this. And still to this day, my niece doesn't talk to me because of what I said. And that's fine. That's her right. I'm not playing into the game. I don't care. I said what I said and I set boundaries. I just got sick and tired of every time I look up, and families know the ones that hold the light, the ones that have the magic, the ones that know how to bring things to a head, the ones that work it, they're always going to come and pull on you to solve the issue. But they're the first ones to condemn you and say something nasty about what you do and get mad at you and don't want you around. But they want you around to solve their issues. And one day, my niece did this. She called me up. She wanted me to get involved in something with her dad and all that stuff. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. Stop. Why do you always call me wanting me to get involved in this, but you never call me any other day to say hi? You never do that, but you always want me to come and get involved in this stuff. I'm not doing that. Do it yourself. You got the same damn gift. Go do it yourself. That's exactly what I said. I said, have a nice day. Boundaries. Boundaries. And it's not going to feel good at the time when you do it, because that little person in you comes out and says, ooh, I shouldn't have did that. That's going to stir some trouble. But no, it needed to be said. There comes a time when you have to put your foot down and you have to say, no, I'm not doing that. No, I don't feel like driving all the way out there. No, I don't feel like coming to this holiday festival. We're coming into a holiday season. It's going to be different for a lot of people. Who wants to be stressed out on running around trying to get gifts for the holidays, and you're trying to buy something for somebody that does not even respect you enough to call you throughout the whole year to check in and say hi? I don't waste my time. If things always have to be labeled for people in order for them to accept you for who you are, there's something wrong with that picture. The siphoning energy, vampiring energy, all that stops when you figure out where it's coming from and you say no more. And when you finally say, I'm not doing this anymore because it doesn't make me feel good, I'll never forget my last Christmas time that I went to the house to go to Christmas. I was on disability. I think I had a knee injury, something. I was out on disability. So I was getting my disability check. So I was off from work, and I didn't have all the money to spend at this time, way back in the day. Okay. And I remember buying a couple of things that I could get. But then I remember I made, because I was heavy into my beading work, I made some beaded stuff and I gave it to my family. And I just remember that some of the response was, oh, that's stuff that she makes. Let's get to the other gifts that are bigger. It wasn't important because it didn't come from a store with a label on it and a big box and a bow on it, and it wasn't important. And then when I was given a gift, it was one gift, and it came from Walgreens, and it was a Tupperware container for storing food in. $5.99 to be exact. And I just remember when I got that, and I said, and it's funny, when we're on our spiritual journey and we're doing what we're doing, you're changing, you're evolving, but it's kind of like you're going like this, but you're watching those here, they're not changing, they're staying the same. But you're going like this, and they're still staying the same. But they expect you to come down like this and stay here, but you're changing. So I just remember, and I set a boundary with myself. When I left that evening and I was driving all the way back home, back to Sacramento, I cried all the way back home because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like shit. I felt like, I'm going through a lot in my life. I had this injury going on and I had to heal it and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm off from work and da-da-da-da-da, and my body's burned out from nursing and I'm tired, and I cried all the way back home. And when I pulled up into my parking lot, I parked the car, I sat there and I said, I never again will go to another function where I have to feel like I'm not worth it. Where if I bring something and I made it from my heart, it's not good enough. It's looked down upon. And then I promised myself, and I said, I will never, ever again allow somebody to make me feel like that. I don't care if it is my own family, friends, employer. I'm not going to allow somebody to make me feel like that. And when I set that boundary, and every time when the holidays came around and they try to pull that whole thing on me, I say, no, sorry, I'm choosing to stay home. Friends would come around and say, hey, Flea, what you doing? You know, but I just totally cut off from that, because to me, that whole thing is all about drama. I stepped out of it. It's going to be different now for a lot of people, because where is everybody here when we look at around the world, in the United States especially, with all the storms going on? Who are the people that still have a house? Who are the people that still have a job? Who are the people that still have some money coming in? Who are the people that still can afford to go out and spend money on a bunch of gifts and stuff and put it underneath the tree? Is that what it's all about? Because it's a programming. So when we talk about boundaries, we're getting ready to go through the freaking stupid fake ass holiday seasons where you kind of have to keep checking in on your boundaries. And don't be setting yourself up to go do things when you know damn well you don't want to go do it. That's the problem. When we say yes to something when we really mean no. And then when you say no to something, they have the audacity, whoever it is, to guilt you and make you feel bad because you just said no. Because it didn't feel aligned to you. If it doesn't feel aligned, don't do it. Period. You don't have to please anybody. And as soon as you start trying to please somebody, you're forgetting about yourself. And then that pleasing turns into an expectation of them, of you, to keep it going. But somewhere down the line, you have to cut the cord and say no. And those of us who are on our path, who are doing the work, who stepped out to do this work, we're looked upon as crazy. You're different. You're touched. Don't know what's going on with you. You're my little flower girl. You're different. But you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So when we look at today's canon, it's talking about universal waters. We're talking about the emotions. We're talking about having that part of ourselves where we step back and we say, where's my emotions today? Where am I sitting with myself today? The number one thing we have to stop doing is doing things that we know we don't want to do anymore. You don't want to align with that anymore. You don't want to do this anymore. You don't want to save face. You don't want to rock the boat. Rock the damn boat. Get everybody off the damn boat. You take the boat and go. That's how I see it. Just get off the boat. I'm going. Give them a life raft. You want to be kind. Give them little protective things. If they can't swim, give it to them. Take the boat and go. I just get tired of walking on eggshells around people to not rock the boat because you're going to sacrifice your boundaries for them because you don't want to rock the boat. But they don't think like that about you. They rock the boat, ship, train, plane, everything all around you, and still expect you to say yes. So when we talk about energy ciphering, we talk about emotional stuff, we're talking about boundaries. What are your boundaries? It goes for staying in those relationships where you're being abused by the person that you love. And you keep staying in it, thinking it's going to get better. No, it's not. Because if they show you the first dibs of what they really think about you and they pull away whatever parts of you and they want you to be on their frequency, and then they're smart talking, calling you names, being abusive, verbally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, it's time to leave. And I just, it saddens me when you get with a person and they're treating you, doing stupid little crap in the beginning of your relationship. Now you're 4 or 5 years into the relationship. Oh, now you're going to get married. Some people will wait almost 10 years, almost 8 to 10 years before they finally make the commitment to get married to the person. Really? However they were treating you before you got married, it's going to be worse when you get married. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So when we talk about boundaries, we're talking about what do you allow and what do you not allow. Period. When we talk about the divine magic of the self and speaking with a divine Heka, do you mean exactly what you say? Do you mean it? When we say, I'm tired of this pattern or this cycle and I need to be shown guidance on how to change this, and then information comes to you, not in the way that you were hoping for, but it still shows up and it comes to you on how to make that change. You got the info. You use the divine magic of the self and your Heka to speak about it, to bring it into your reality. Right now, all of us are being tested on what we're seeing on different timelines at the same time in this world. Some of us are not seeing a lot of craziness. Some of us are seeing detrimental stuff. Some of us are hanging back in a hammock somewhere, flipping around on our heads, having a good time, sipping out of a cocoa. That didn't come out right. A coconut. Sipping out of cocoa. You know, different timelines, experiencing different emotions, having different boundaries. So I wanted to pull something up. I made my note. You know that movie, Xanadu? Remember that movie, Xanadu? With Olivia Newton-John? I had like this thing come across my YouTube tab. And I thought it was really interesting because it was like, oh my God, what is going on with you guys today? You're just so slow. we're gonna talk about two songs. Okay. So I remember when this song came out, when this movie came out, and I remember when I saw the advertisement for it, I wanted to see it. And I remember telling my mom, I want to see that movie because it looks so magical. And she goes, why? I said, because they're goddesses. I had no idea what I was talking about. Okay. So that movie is all about dimensional muses coming into the physical world, interacting with humans on what they want to create. And when they give up on their dreams, how they inspire them to create the reality that they're looking for. That's what that movie is all about. And the song Xanadu, it says, Xanadu, a place where nobody dares to go. The love that we came to know, they call it Xanadu. The tears you cried can't be denied. And now open your eyes and see what we have made is real. We are in Xanadu. The dream in you, they offer you. A million lights are dancing, and there you are, a shooting star, an everlasting world. You're here with me eternally. Xanadu, Xanadu. Now we are here in Xanadu. Xanadu, Xanadu. Now we are here in Xanadu. Your neon lights will shine for you in Xanadu. So the love, the echoes of long ago, you needed the world to know they are in Xanadu. I'm going to read that part again. The love, the echoes of long ago, you needed the world to know they are in Xanadu. The love you gave, you'll dream away. The dreams that came through a million years, that lived on through all the tears. It came to Xanadu. The dream in you, they offer you. A million lights are dancing, and there you are, a shooting star, an everlasting world, and you're here with me eternally. Xanadu, Xanadu. Now we are here in Xanadu. Xanadu, Xanadu. Now that I'm here, now that you're here in Xanadu. Now, there is another one. And this whole thing is all about magic. The magic of creating, the magic of seeing something, feeling something so much, but you're afraid to step into it and do it because you don't think you can do it. So there's another one. This one's going to light up your okay. Okay. Let me go here. That's the wrong dialect. Okay, Magic. And it's another one by Olivia Newton-John that is in the movie Xanadu. Okay, pay attention. Come, take my hand. You should know me. I have always been in your mind. You know I will be kind. You'll be guiding you. I'll be guiding you. Building your dream has to start now. There's no other road to take. Pay attention. Even then, they were telling us, okay, there's no other road to take. You won't make a mistake. I'll be guiding you. You have to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in our way. You have to believe we are magic. Don't let your aim ever stray. And if all your hopes survive, destiny will arrive. I'll bring all your dreams alive for you. I'll bring all your dreams alive for you. From where I stand, you are home free. The planets align, so rare. There's promise in the air, and I am guiding you. You have to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in our way. Through every turn, I'll be there near you. I'll come anytime you call. I'll catch you when you fall. I'll be guiding you. For you have to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in our way. You have to believe we are magic. Don't let your aim ever stray. And if all your hopes survive, destiny will arrive. I'll bring all the dreams alive for you. I'll bring all the dreams alive for you. You have to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in your way. So, right there in this song, in this movie as Xanadu, which is on a different dimensional level of believing in the self and stepping out of the disbelief and flowing in what we would call the universal waters of creation. So this brings in that magic. It's called magic. So if you've never seen that movie and you're having one of those moments where you're trying to get your thoughts together and you're trying to make sense out of everything and this world looks a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Now, this came out in 1980. I graduated from high school in 1984. So this was back in the time of disco era. This is back in the time of the zoot suits. Back in that time. But the reason why I bring this up, because right now we're in this kind of like this energy of review where we're looking at our life and we're saying, how did we get here? Now, yesterday and the day before yesterday, there was a lot of energy floating around about the rapture. And then finally, the pastor, I guess he was in Africa or something, he finally confessed that he came out. He was the one that started this whole thing about the rapture and people were doing it. Now, I'm going to just put this out here as a preface. Whatever they were showing on certain news things or feeds or whatever, we have to take it with a grain of salt because of the fact that they can use CGI. They can use all of this computerized stuff to drive along the sense of this. And the pastor comes out later and he has to make an apology. And he's saying, when they were talking about the rapture stuff, there's people saying, now you just can't let that stuff, God is not going to forget us. God is going to come and get us. The rapture is taking place. You got to trust God. God would never say anything that wasn't true. Well, that depends on what God you're talking about. Are you talking about the artificial one that's in here with us? That's not the real light? Are you talking about that one? Are you talking about the true source light that's in everything, that's divine? So a lot of people are not feeling very good today because they didn't get the kind of rapture that they were looking for. Who said the rapture was going to be where it was actually something that came and got you and took you? Maybe the rapture is a different definition for this day of time. Maybe it's removing all the false stuff that we have been enduring that has kept us asleep. Maybe that was the rapture to pull that crap off of you so you could see. You can see the truth. So you can be revealed. I was told 2.5, 3 weeks ago that the flash, solar flash, is not going to be something that everybody's going to see, but it's going to be something that everybody will feel. Solar flash. Solar plexus. Feeling it in the solar plexus. It will be something you will feel. Sorry about that. That was a grandmother energy that just came out of nowhere and just, whoo. So, if you didn't get raptured yesterday, it wasn't your time. In the way that you're thinking that you were supposed to. Okay? Those of us that are still here and we're still bopping along, we just kept on going. Staying on your path. Oh, look. That's staying focused. Okay? Any questions about what I just said? Let's get to a close. Get your water ready. Let's see what codes we're running today. Oh, well, here you come. I just split the cards and flipped it over. Spiritual truth, overcome illusions. There you go. Bam! Take that and run to the bank. Here comes the codes for that. Get that water ready. Dang, that was just good. I like that. And then let's take a look at another. Okay, crystal healing. And release old emotional cords. Shut the front door. Jesus. Okay. Are you ready for your codes? Get that water ready. Yeah, and you know the rules. Once you do get your water frequency, you taste the water first, and then you hold your glass up to the camera, and I send in that frequency, anchor it in, and then you sip the water after. Drink half of the water, and therefore, throughout the day, refill the water back up, and it'll keep recharging itself so you can complete that water frequency. All right, spiritual truth, overcoming illusions. Some of you are going to see some truth that you might not want to see, but are you ready to face that? Can you handle it? Let's go. Here we go. Take that glass up to the water. 99, 899, 99, 899. Activate, divinely align. Accelerate. Bring in more divine love energy. Trillion light per millisecond. Crystal healing time. Connect to the crystal light. Love it. And release the old cords, the old emotional cords. Love it. Okay, your water code. That's the one that's coming in for today. Is there any other ones? Nope. Last card I just flipped over, Lemurian Divine Light Heka. I'm like, okay. All right, any questions? Everyone's good? This was a lengthy talk because we talked about the waters, we talked about the energy, we talked about boundaries, we talked about the salts, we talked about taking care of yourself and not feeling bad about it, especially on those jobs where if you have to call in and you need to take care of yourself, do it, and do it without feeling guilty about it. Do it without feeling guilty. Because if you don't look after you, who will? Okay? You have to take care of yourself. It's the name of the game now. I'm taking care of myself. I'm moving right along with the trajectory. Moving right along, building things up. Getting those things that I need that's going to just accelerate. Okay? So, just stay true to yourself in your light and don't sacrifice yourself for others. And when I say it like that, I mean in this way where you know these same people will never do this for you. They would never do it for you. But they always want you to do it for them. Okay? I always look at things that I do. There's always that nursing side of me and that healer side of me. I'm claiming that word healer because really when you look at the word healing, you have to heal something. If something comes up, you got to heal it. So that means you're going to do the work in order to bring yourself back into balance. Okay? And there's things that I see with myself when I'm always checking in on people. Hey, how you doing? I wanted to check in on you today, see how you were doing. I haven't heard from somebody in a while. Now, here's my thing. If I called you and I text you and you didn't respond to me, and I do it again and you don't respond, I'm going to take that as you don't want to talk because you don't like what I have to say. You can't deal with my truth. So I leave you be. The days of me chasing after people, I don't have time for that. Shit, I'm 59 years old. I don't have time to chase after you. Period. So you have to say this sometimes to yourself that you don't have time to be chasing after people. You did your due diligence and you put your call out there and you did your part. That's all you got to do. The ball's in their court. And sometimes you just outgrow people. You just outgrow them. And there's no harm in that. It's just another part of growth on our side. But the main thing is, stop walking around in guilt. Stop feeling like you always have to do something in order to keep the peace. You're the peacemaker. No, you don't. Like I said, rock the damn boat. Get them out. You take the boat and go. Problem solved. There you go. But in truth of itself, these energies that we're in, especially that last partial solar eclipse energy, That's an energy that's going to be bringing up a lot of stuff in the next 6 months. Now, the one we need to be thinking about is in February of 2026. That one's already coming up in my face. And I'm like, yeah, that one's going to be an interesting one. But now we're heading in Taino. When we head into, I believe it's next month, maybe November. I think November. It's the season of Makatari. When we go into the season of death. Who's staying? Who's going? Everyone's going to have a choice. Who's rising? Who's not going to rise? And right now, more than anything, we need to be able to see truth for what it is and who's speaking it. And anyone speaking the falseness, we don't have no dealings with you. So right now, your light needs to be strong. Right now, your heart space needs to be strong and in balance so that you are able to detect this and see it for what it is. Because the game ain't over yet. We're coming in for the final showdown. And right now, your light and being true to yourself is more important than ever. Period. So stop making those decisions of doing stuff to satisfy other people to keep them happy. But you're the one that's like, gag me with a spoon. Having moments like that. Okay. So, my name is Felicia, well known as Priestess Makala of the Galactic Spiral Light. I hope I said something today, taught you something today, shook something out of you, revamped something in you, or just have you in a moment say, shit, what the hell? She's right. Silently to yourself to make you look at something that you no longer need to do. We don't have time for that. All right. Game on. Go listen to some good music. Sit down and decipher some lingo, and go have a moment. Go have some pumpkin pie, pumpkin ice cream, pumpkin cake, pumpkin bread, pumpkin shake. Pumpkin's very cleansing. I know why, because it's got all that clove and nutmeg in there. And clove, parasites don't like it. But yeah, and still you got the niceness of the pumpkin. That's very cleansing to the body. Anyway, lovely, I'll be on tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday. And I say we'll chit-chat about something on Friday. We're going to be stepping into, I think I wanted to link these up because we went into water. Oh, yes. And we got to talk about spirit tomorrow. And can you believe it? It's already going to be the weekend again. We just got out of the weekend. Now it's going to be a weekend again. So sad what's happening to us. Oh, well, I'm sure it'll all turn out well. All right, lovelies. I want you to be good to yourself. Go take those medicine baths and smudge your space and cleanse and change things around and maybe just sit down and just be and love yourself. It's not that hard. Give yourself some credit, okay? All right, lovelies. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about some spirit. Spirit things. Pay attention at nighttime. Pay attention. I'll have you laughing tomorrow. We'll talk about the old movie Dracula I was watching on Pluto. I have to say the one word before I leave. There's this scene, and the lady, the acting back then, 1950s and stuff, back in the black and white times, filming, was so funny. And she got bit by Dracula. So she's going through her metamorphosis and she's trying to keep it all together. And she's around the fiance and she's out on the balcony and she says, I really don't want you to see me this way. Come, sit, have a seat. And the fiance sits down and she walks over and and in the movie it's so funny. She's like, and the fiance is saying, why, Mio, why are you staring at me so intensely? Then Van Helsing comes in. It's so funny. And he already knows that she's been bit by Dracula. So he whips out a crucifix and he goes like this to her. This is so funny. The way they said it in this movie, the acting was just so funny. He puts it up like this. She goes, ah! And he goes, my God, man, what are you doing? Trying to Christ her to death? Just the cross on his head. He pushes away. He's trying to get her back. He says, she's been taken by Dracula. If you want to laugh, watching those old-fashioned movies back in the day will have you laughing. Even when they do their stunts, will have you laughing. Because, they didn't have a lot of stunt people back then. Some of the actors and stuff did their own stunts, and you could tell when it went wrong. And I said, ooh, he fell off the stage stairs. They went ahead and kept that. Oh, I bet you he needed a back rub after that one. All right, lovelies. And on that note, I'm out of here. Be good to yourself. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.